Hey guys, this is for your Symbolism in the Crucible paper. It should look like this. Okay, you should see the paper with the top, the poppet, and the golden candlesticks, and the warrant for Elizabeth's arrest. So I'm just going to go through this with you so that you understand what is going on, and so that you can get it for the test. So if you take a look at the first column, they have all the symbols. And then the second column, I want to know where it appears in the text. The third column, what does the symbol mean? And then the last column, how the symbol relates to the character or his or her traits. So we're going to start with the poppet. The information on the poppet can be found on page 1238 in column 2, where Mary Warren gives the poppet to Elizabeth, and also on page 1245 and 1246 when Cheever comes and asks for the poppet. So the symbol is associated with Mary Warren, Abigail, and Elizabeth. So then in the next column, what does the symbol mean? We know that Abigail had planted it there for the purpose of Elizabeth getting in trouble. So it actually represents Abigail's jealousy. And then in the far column, how that symbol relates to the character is that it represents Abigail's jealousy and her spitefulness towards Elizabeth and how she wanted John just as her own. So then we get to the golden candlesticks, which have to do with Reverend Paris. In the first column, this can be found on page 1242 at the very top of column 2. And this is happens during a conversation between Hale and Proctor when Hale came to the house and was questioning Proctor on how Christian he was. And Paris said that one of the reasons why he doesn't go to church is because of these golden candlesticks. So the person who they're associated with is technically Reverend Paris. Even though he is not doing the talking and he is in the scene, it has to do specifically with Reverend Paris alone. And remember, if you recall, that there used to be pewter candlesticks in the church that Francis Nurse made. Everybody was completely happy with them, and there were no problems until Paris came, and all he kept preaching for was the golden candlesticks. He also explained that he took close to 5 to 6 months worth of collection to get these golden candlesticks. So they really represent his greed and his infatuation with his reputation. Which leads us to the last column, which explains how this symbol relates to the character, is that this symbol of the golden candlesticks represents Reverend Paris's self-centeredness and his focus solely on his reputation. So the last one is the warrant for Elizabeth's arrest, and this can be found on page 1245 in column 1. When Cheever comes to serve her with the warrant, and then also on page 1246, column 2, when John Proctor goes and rips it up. So it is associated with both Elizabeth and with John, and this symbol represents revenge. This is all about Abigail getting revenge on Elizabeth, John Proctor knowing that that's what this represents. So he inevitably winds up ripping it up. So how this symbol relates to the character is that it shows that two things. First of all, that John Proctor is supportive and protective over his wife, and he also realizes the error in his ways regarding Abigail and knows that she is a vindictive person. So if you go through this paper and you have any other questions and you don't understand something, please feel free to text me at some point this evening and I will do my best to help you understand it. Bye!